Around 2016, the client, International School of Uganda, shortlisted us among other architects to design the Performing Arts Center. In my proposal to the client, I had indicated that we will get consultants. I included a performing arts space specialist, a theater audio visual expert. Then we had another gentleman, and his job was to help us with lighting. These are all specialists that I had not worked with before as an architect, because I'd never designed a theater auditorium. And the client gave us what they call a brief. They intended to improve their performing arts experience to students. They were looking forward to a performing arts center which had teaching areas, incorporate a performing arts stage, an auditorium or theater large enough to seat 550 people, rehearsal rooms, an exhibition area, facilities for music, dance, drama, and visual arts. Construction industry, the way we deliver our products is by nature fragmented, because we use different specialists to work on different things. You have an architect, you have an electrical engineer, you have a mechanical engineer, you have a structural engineer, you have an interior designer, you have a landscape artist. We added a performance arts space specialist, we added a lighting specialist, and we added a theater audio visual expert. The school itself is divided into very easy zones, but we're given this space which measures about 35 by 60 meters as the space available for construction of the art center. But one of the conditions the client had put is that the theater auditorium should be accessible by the community, so that they can also have their own performances in that auditorium without actually interrupting the school programs. So after visiting the site, we noticed that the Dr. Gibbons Hall is over here. These are classrooms over here, and this was supposed to be our site, and this is supposed to be the courtyard, as I explained earlier on. But also, the other thing that I forgot to mention is that Dr. Gibbons Hall has got the kitchen that supplies the entire school attached to it. The access to the kitchen was supposed to be kept. So we had our area for the site already broken into two without access, which we had to maintain. Our first thinking is to develop the building like that and put the auditorium in the middle, because it's a major one, and also the main access comes to that. And then we put some teaching rooms to this side and some teaching rooms to that side. So the building was kind of divided into those three spaces. Teaching, that's teaching, and then you've got the auditorium in the middle here. And most of the buildings on this site are a maximum of 2 floors, that's ground and first floor. But we somehow used the site to come up with 3 floors. When you look at the building, when you're standing at the pitch side, you see 3 floors. Now it's time for us to think about the external appearance of the building. Most of the buildings, if you have been to ISU, are done in burnt clay bricks. So there's a brown kind of finish around the school. So we adopted the same texture finish. If I walk into this compound, which has over 30 buildings, how do I tell where the Performance Arts Center is? That's when we came up with that idea of showing music instruments as part of the grant. We cut them out of steel and used them to clad the areas where we wanted to break the sun from directly going into the windows. We used those instruments to do the sun breaking. I here credit a couple of young men, Moses Kimuli and Moses Waswa, who worked with me at that point. We don't have straight lines, some lines are slanting. The structural engineer was especially unhappy with us with some of the designs that we're doing. This wall won't stand, and then we would tell her, make sure it stands. The roofing was a challenge. It's done with mabati all over the place, but the mabati are hidden. The roof is a series of sloping pitches, sloping in different directions. Because there was the emphasis on the community accessing this auditorium or theater, through Andreas, we have submitted this design to the Prague exhibition of performing spaces, and it was one of the very few that was selected. And the performing spaces exhibition of Prague, which is PQ, called PQ, is going to take place in June of 2023. And this space and the design and the theatre will be on display, and us as the architects will be there to explain how we conceived the idea and how we got this idea and how we came up with this building. Because it's one of a few buildings which is not exclusive, it's inclusive, communities and people around can use it.